The Merchant of Wisdom. Once upon a time, there was a mighty king. He ruled a vast kingdom, but liked to disguise himself as a common man to explore the world outside his palace. One sunny day, the king dressed as a simple merchant and wandered into the crowded market. He moved through the busy alleys, listening to the chatter and watching merchants sell their goods. Suddenly, his eyes stopped at a small, strange shop. The shop looked old and empty. The shelves were almost bare. An old man sat calmly on a creaky chair, looking peaceful yet mysterious. The king entered the shop and greeted him. King.
Hello, old man. What do you sell in this empty shop?
Old man, smiling.
Welcome, traveler. I sell wisdom, the finest and most valuable thing in this market.
King, laughing.
Wisdom? What kind of shop is this? Where are your goods?
The old man pointed to a dusty pile of plaques in the corner. Old man.
These plaques carry wisdom. Many people have bought from me and changed their lives. I've only 2 left.
The king, now curious, walked to the plaques. He wiped the dust from one and read the words aloud.
Think before you act.
The king paused. The simple words struck him. King.
How much for this plaque?
Old man, calmly.
10,000 gold coins.
The king gasped. King.
10,000? That's too expensive for a piece of wood.
The old man smiled and stayed quiet. The king tried to bargain. He offered 5,000, then 6, then 9,000 coins. But the old man didn't budge. Frustrated, the king left the shop, thinking the old man would call him back. But the old man sat calmly, not saying a word. As the king strolled through the market, the phrase, "Think before you act," kept repeating in his mind. Suddenly, he stopped. Earlier, he had planned to punish an innocent man based on a rumor. But the phrase made him pause. He thought deeply and decided to investigate first. After learning the truth, he realized the man was innocent. The king felt relief and gratitude. The simple phrase had saved him from making a terrible mistake. The king rushed back to the old man's shop. He pushed through the market crowd, breathing heavily as he reached the shop. King.
I'll buy the plaque. Here are your 10,000 coins.
The old man nodded, took the plaque, and handed it to the king. Old man.
There is one condition. You must write these words everywhere, in your place, on your walls, and even on your clothes. Let them guide you always.
The king agreed and returned to his palace. He wrote the words, "Think before you act," everywhere, on the gates, in the halls, and even on his royal robes. Months later, the king's life was in danger. One of his commanders plotted to kill him. The commander bribed the king's barber, asking him to assassinate the king while cutting his hair. When the barber entered the palace, he saw the phrase, "Think before you act," written above the gates. The words caught his attention. As he walked inside, he saw the same phrase on the walls, the carpets, and even on the king's royal robe. The words echoed in his mind. His hands started shaking. His guilt grew stronger with every step. Finally, when he stood before the king, the barber dropped the blade, fell to his knees, and confessed everything. The king forgave the barber, but arrested the commander who had planned the assassination. Later, the king held the plaque in his hands, feeling deep gratitude for the wisdom it gave him. He returned to the market to thank the old man. But the shop was gone, and the king learned that the wise old man had passed away. Standing in front of the empty shop, the king smiled. King.
This wisdom is a treasure. It will live on forever.
And so, the simple phrase, "Think before you act," saved the king's life and became a lesson for his entire kingdom. Sometimes, the simplest words can protect you and guide you toward the right path.